Before we get into this video, I know I obviously do the comment question of the day, and it's going to be a little messed up because yesterday I was supposed to post the clutch time video you guys are going to be seeing today, but my thumbnail designer, just some stuff happened where like it was a miscommunication, so I never actually ended up getting the thumbnail yesterday, and I did end up getting it like super late last night, so yeah, I wasn't obviously able to post the video last night or yesterday for you guys, so we're going to be double uploading today with this video and that video from yesterday, so I'm going to kind of roll with that comment question that I dropped in that video, so feel free to comment it under this video as well. Be sure to drop down below who your guys' favorite music artist is. If you can listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who would it be? But we are here today to talk about how to be successful here in Myteam Unlimited. Unlimited is by far the most sweaty game mode that you can play. Everybody treats this thing like it's 250k. You guys know it. I know it. Skill-based matchmaking is slowly ruining the game mode every single day, but I'm here to show you guys some methods to help, get better at this game. But not only that, but really how to be more successful with Unlimited. I'm not going to tell you that you're going to win every single game because let's be honest, one, you're not going to just win every single game. Two, there's obviously things that are going to prevent you from winning every game like algo and equalizer and all that sort of fun stuff. But I'm going to be showing you guys, again, ways to truly be successful here in this mode. You guys can see we did get Gary Payton last season. The very first season, we did not get Wilt, but we did get to the Opal tier, and I just did not even bother going for Wilt. I went for Wilt two times, technically. I got to 7-0 both times and lost to some really interesting things, we'll say, so I just gave up on the Wilt grind. And this season, I think we are already 2-0. I've only, I think, played 2 games. Yeah, so we're 2-0 this season. Just did that for the Weekend Warrior stuff, the very first weekend for some XP. But other than that, though, I mean, yeah, Unlimited is something truly just, it is interesting to say the least. I mean, we obviously got Vucevic, we got Harden, we ended up getting Vince Carter. And then we will be on our way to getting Jay Rich. But even last season alone, we did get the exchange for the 15,000 XP, meaning we did complete Showdown. My overall record last season was, I think, 118 and 20, I want to say. It was somewhere around there. And hopefully this video can help you guys out in getting to a record like that, or maybe even a little bit better than me. A lot of my games, I just ended up either losing because I was doing XP. Some of them I just quit. Like, there was just some games where I did end up losing. But hopefully, I can get you guys to a point where you guys do have a better record. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The most important thing when it does come to Unlimited is having a good team. Now, obviously, I don't expect you guys to have a team like this. This team is cracked beyond belief. If you guys had D-Rob, Giannis, PG, KD, Lillard, Clay, like, I'm sure you guys would be fine in Unlimited. And I know a lot of you guys, don't have that much time to grind the game to make MT or anything like that. So, I'm going to be breaking down 2 different types of teams. The first team I'm going to be showing you guys is a team that I feel like the average player should have by now. What I mean by that is, like, you guys obviously should have enough MT to build somewhat of a good team. You may not have a crack team like this, but you should have a team that looks like this. This team is going to be really good, especially if you guys have been keeping up with some of the stuff in the game. Again, Carmelo Anthony was the Season 1 level 40 card, which they dropped a ton of XP, and even more in Season 2. They dropped almost 400,000 XP for KG, and all you needed, actually I think it was like closer to 350, but all you did need is 150k. KG and Melo is going to be our post in the starting 5. You have a nice little Amethyst Rocco, who is a phenomenal 3-and-D player. Harden is a guy that, again, does cost a good amount of MT, but again, I feel like everybody should have that MT to spend on at least 1 or 2 players by now. And then you have Lillard from Clutch Time, which it takes, a few hours to grind. You get Lillard. That man is a GOAT. Trust me. Off the bench, we got Ja Morant, who is the limited guy. You have Eddie Jones, who's a phenomenal budget card in this game. Glenn Robinson from the draft mode in Season 1. Paul Silas and Jaren Jackson Jr. Paul Silas is the only one I'm going to give you guys a pass on and not having because Paul Silas, let's be honest, is a ghost. It literally never showed up ever on anybody's board. I got super lucky to get him during the Curry event that was going on. So if you don't have Paul Silas, you can easily replace him with a guy like Pink Diamond Nicholas Batum. And there is a bunch of other cards that I feel like, people could definitely have. And again, the reason why, I'm not just going to flood this team with a bunch of random cards is I don't know everybody's, MT situation. So some other guys that I think, are kind of doable for the average player, especially now. Gary Payton, Gerald Wallace is definitely one. I feel like people should get that collector level up if they are going that way. Moses Malone is a really good one. He's like 50k. And he is a really solid like center that you could have. Jason Kidd is another really good player that you could pick up. John Collins, Chris Mullen from the token market. Two really good players there. You could pick up, let's see, who else? Andrew Wiggins is another really solid one. There's definitely just a lot of players that I feel like people could have at this point in the game. But the overall point of what I'm saying is to design your lineups is your 1 and 2 guards. You really want to make sure, make sure they have clamps and pick dodger. Those are the two most important badges to have on your 1 and 2. It is really important. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to really need them on defense. You guys will see why a little bit later. But again, you want to have that really strong offense in your backcourt. So we have Lillard and Harden, and then off the bench, we do have Ja Morant and Eddie Jones. Obviously, the starting lineup is a little bit more stronger, but Ja could definitely carry the bench. For your wing players, starting 5, we got Rocco and Melo. Off the bench, we got Glenn Robinson and Paul Silas. You really want to have those 3-and-D guys that are going to clamp up on the perimeter for you. And not only that, make sure these guys have interceptor. That is really important, so they are jumping lanes and everything like that. It is going to help you guys out tremendously by having players that are going to jump passing lanes for you. It may sound cheesy, but trust me, it is really important to have. For the centers, we have KG and we do have Jaren Jackson Jr. Stretch bigs. Jaren Jackson Jr. is super cheap, and KG definitely was well worth the grind, being that he comes with Hall of Fame rim protector, interceptor, intimidator, post lockdown, fast twitch, all on Hall of Fame, as well as a ton of good gold badges as well. And then again, you do have Jaren Jackson Jr., who has a bunch of good badges, as well as an 87-3, 85 driving dunk, 88 block, good rebounding. And then again, looking at his Hoff badges, catch and shoot, corner specialist, pogo, set shooter, definitely well worth picking up. I know what you guys are going to say, and I'm going to say the same thing because I'm going back and recording. I cannot believe I forgot Mikal Bridges on this team. Now, this is probably like the best budget team that you guys can make. And when I say budget team, I mean like complete bare bones budget team. If you guys have another player that you think belongs on this team, feel free to let me know. I mean, I did take some time to scroll through my entire collection trying to find these different cards. So if I did miss one, that is on me. But looking at the starting 5 here again, you got Alex Caruso, who does come with Hall of Fame interceptor, and so does Eddie Jones. These two cards are really going to help you guys out with going up against a lot of different people. Them having Hall of Fame interceptor is going to really, I think impact a lot of different teams because they're going to see a budget team and be like, oh, I could just, whip the ball around, do my thing, whatever. These two guys are going to be able to jump some lanes. And again, you guys can see we got Poku and we have Saddiq Bey. Now, they both are popping up as Amethyst because they do have the duos with Lou Dort and Cade Cunningham, which you guys can run these duos if you guys wanted to. The Cade one is a little bit more with the Saddiq Bey one, but Lou Dort is definitely a viable option at the 2. If you did want to run the Poku and Lou Dort duo. I think that's actually a pretty solid duo in this game for budget players and stuff like that. Wang at the center position, definitely well needed. You could also replace a guy like James Wiseman with a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr. He really isn't all that expensive, but just for the video's sake as well, you could replace him with a guy like Josh Smith. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and replace RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is really good, but I do think it is worth spending that little bit extra MT to still pick up Rocco. So I'm actually going to go ahead and swap the lineup around like this. I think this would be a little bit better for you guys to run. But then off the bench, you have Marcus Smart, you have OJ Mayo, Saddiq Bey now, Jonathan Isaac, and Josh Smith. All really solid cards that are really cheap in this game. And then finally, we do have Davion Mitchell on this team, who, I mean, he is a sapphire, but let me tell you, this man is a dog on ball. I don't know why this dude gets so many steals. It's actually kind of annoying because I've went up against him in clutch time, and I've been ripped by him like several times in a row. It's really annoying, but he is definitely worth picking up and giving a try if you are struggling. So these teams are obviously what you guys want to be focusing on. I'm not going to just tell you guys, hey, use a God Squad like this, because obviously you could use a team like this, and I mean, come on. Like, this is obviously one of the best teams that you can run in the game. So, I mean, obviously, if you swap some players around, we have Lillard and Wall here. Curry, I love him. I mean, he's got to get the starting spot until we actually play. You know what I mean? But yeah, obviously, you can run a team like this and not struggle really at all. But really, mainly for the budget players, lineups like this are really going to help you guys improve at this game. Looking at coaches, there's really no excuse for you guys to not have a good coach. You guys can get them for free via domination. Steph Curry is my coach that I do end up using. You could use Dennis Rodman, and then the other one that you should be using is Bill Russell. Those are really the only ones that you guys should be looking at if you guys want to buy coaches on the market. Feel free. You're going to be spending MT that you just don't even really need to be spending, but having a good coach is really important. You guys can see Steph gives boost to ball handling, 3, mid-range, perimeter defense, and driving dunk. That is really good and really important, so make sure you guys do have a good coach like that. Playbooks are going to be, somewhat important for online. Obviously, again, I've had videos talking about this. Best playbooks for you guys to run online is definitely going to be the Bucks playbook. Bucks playbook is really solid. I do really enjoy using that one. The 2013 Heat, as always, is a really solid one, and I highly recommend, honestly, using this one. Has a lot of really good three-point plays and stuff in it that are really going to help you guys out. There is the Pacers playbook that does have some good three-point plays in it as well. Again, I'm still working on like a tutorial video for that one just because I know a lot of people have been, trying to get different playbooks and stuff. The Raptors playbook does have a good amount of three-point plays in it. They're not as good, I think, as the other ones, but I still think that you could find success using that playbook. And then finally, the Portland Trailblazers playbook. These are all the best playbooks that I feel like you guys can run in this game. They give a lot of good three-point looks. They give a lot of good motion looks where, your opponent's going to be off-balling. They're going to be getting caught on different situations, and you're going to be able to really create some offense, even if your opponent is sitting in the corner, in the paint, whatever. Now, let me clarify something before we do get into this part of the video. People are going to do settings. People are going to full court press. People are going to do all this stuff. It has nothing to do with me telling them this. Everybody already does it anyway, so this is just for the people that don't know what to do when it comes to defensive settings. That is the whole point of this video, so before anybody wants to get on me being like, oh my god, you're the one making this game all sweaty, let's not act like the game isn't already sweaty already. And plus, defensive settings, if you don't know how to run your defense anyway, they really aren't going to change much. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to show you guys the best defensive settings that I feel like you guys can run. Now, there are different things that I feel like you guys can go ahead and do. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys, now obviously you do have current gen and next gen, like obviously the only real difference in gameplay is that current gen, a lot more smothered shots do go in, and you have the backdoor cut. So if you guys are playing on next gen, you're going to want to leave this on smother, okay? Now, being that we are on current gen, just for the sake, I'm going to put this on tight. If you put on-ball pressure on smother on current gen, or I'm sorry, excuse me, no. This one you do want to have on smother. This one you want to have on either deny ball or tight. If you leave this on deny ball on current gen, you're going to get backdoor cutted like crazy, and you're going to just give up a lot of stupid looks in the paint that you really don't want to be giving up. So you want to make sure that this is on smother no matter what, and then whether you're on current gen or next gen, you can put this on deny ball or you can put this on tight. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to just put this on tight. Now, the on-ball screen and on-ball screen center, you really want to put this on go over. Every single person in this game does go for three hunting and everything like that. Just make sure this is on go over. I know there's some people that do play on switch all. If you go up against a good opponent and you put that on switch all, you're not going to have a fun time because one, you're going to be constantly getting a mismatch down low that is going to really affect what you're trying to do on defense. You're going to end up having your point guard match with their center. You're going to get posted up all game. It's not going to go anywhere. And if somebody's really good at it, they're going to force a switch. Both players are going to drop, and then you're going to get wide open for three, and you definitely don't want your opponent doing that. Now, for the hedge and then hedge center here, you guys can put this on one of two things. You can put it on catch hedge or you can put this on hard hedge. I personally put this on catch hedge. I find a lot of success doing this. Again, it kind of prevents, your opponent from getting some wide open threes, but it also puts you in a good situation to where if they are trying to throw the ball down to their center, you're still somewhat in that lane to actually pick it off. So I do like running catch hedge on both of those situations. Stay attached is really good again because you can see it says the hedge defender will stay attached to the screener when you're on ball. Pick and roller coverage will change to go under. Okay, so this being on stay attached, right? Obviously it does say go under, but honestly, 2K settings are always broken in some way where like they still do kind of go over the screen, but more importantly, this does also help your guys, not, get stuck in those pick and roll situations. You can leave this off if you really want to, but I'm going to just say this right now. I've found a lot more success with this being on stay attached. And then finally, the bottom here, you guys can see screen help and drive help. Just put this both in no help. And then the final thing you guys are going to want to do as far as defensive settings, make sure your adaptive coaching engine is off. And then your coaching sliders, turn the help defense down all the way to 0. The only other thing I'm going to really talk about is your freelances. Those playbooks that I talked about before, you guys can use them, but the freelances are really the main thing that I want you guys to pay attention to. If you guys go up against a good player, they're going to know how to shut down a lot of different plays and stuff like that. So freelances are really important. If you guys are looking for that 5-out style playbook, now as I did just say about the defensive settings and stuff, people are going to do this anyway, so it has nothing to do with me telling them. But a good 5-out offense comes from the Bucks freelance, the Hawks freelance. You can run the Denver freelance. And then there's also the, There's also the 21 delay freelance, which is pretty solid because this is really for people that do run that high pick and roll offense, which is like 99% of this game. So this is really the best freelance you guys can run to help you guys be successful on offense. So I hope this video did help you guys out, and I honestly hope that you guys do find success grinding in Unlimited. I would show you guys gameplay like I normally do in these videos, but the whole thing is with that is obviously you're not going to be matching up with the same opponent every single game. So just because I show you guys something that may work against one guy, it may not work against the next guy, and that's going to be a whole different set of adjustments and everything that you have to make. So honestly, you know, I know people are going to be asking, you know, how to stop 5 out, how to stop all this different stuff. That is going to be in another video. So if you guys do want to see that, be sure to drop a like on this video. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And yeah, peace.